酸っぱいじゃ。
俺は悪魔の仲間なんかじゃ。
絶対スパイだ
So this episode of Chainsaw Man is definitely one of those episodes that I call a transitionary episode. And the reason being that I call it that is this is definitely one of the most boring episodes of the season so far, but I definitely understand why it exists, what it was going for, what it's trying to accomplish, which is essentially setting up the stakes and giving us a ton of information for what's to come next. Because we know we ended the episode with DENJI jumping into the pit of the stomach, right? We know that he jumped into the pit of the enemy, of the devil, right? So he's kind of essentially giving the devil what he wants. He wants DENJI alive or dead kind of thing. So that's his it. That's what he wants. That's what he wants to gain from this event, you know? And that's definitely how we ended the episode. But prior to that, again, this was just level setting. This was just, you know, nothing too crazy or spectacular or anything going on this episode, just information. So let me kind of run through the information that it gave us. But overall, if you were to stop the video right here at about a minute 15 in, I thought this episode was okay. I was pretty bored most of the time. I didn't, the Kobeni, however you say her name, I'm gonna call her Kobani, but however you say her name, you know, I thought her facial expressions were pretty cray-cray. I thought they were pretty interesting, but at the end of the day, it wasn't enough for me to go, that's the episode. You know what I mean? It was just okay, you know? So if you're gonna stop here, just know I thought this episode was pretty good. 7 out of 10, nothing spectacular, but again, this was more of an informational, transitional episode. This wasn't an episode to make you go, this was an episode that if you're binge watching 12, 24 episodes, this was just the episode to kind of get you to the next thing. You're like, ooh, okay, here it comes, and you transfer over to the next 23 minutes. So overall, 7 out of 10 episode, nothing too spectacular. So let's talk about the rest of the things. So the episode immediately picks up where we got left off last episode, dealing with the stairways, dealing with them trying to figure out what the hell is going on. What's this devil's power? Yada, 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 yada. Kobeni begins to freak out. Initially, my initial reaction was like, oh, she's really cute. This is cute. And then she became extremely annoying and irritating. We found out that essentially after they're doing some investigatory work, trying to go through the ceilings, the floors, the windows, blah, 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 they're basically stuck on the 8th floor. So they're trying to figure out what the hell is this devil's power? Is it ceiling power? What is their power exactly? Well, we come to find a little later on that time has stopped. It stopped at 8:18. So this devil has a power to kind of stop time. We learn later on in the episode, you know, when the devil's kind of like announcing himself, we find out that he's the Eternity Devil. And his main goal, current stakes, is trying to form a contract with DENJI. We don't know what his end game is. We don't know everything, but he basically wants the heart in his chest, which is Pucci, Pochi, Ponchi, Ponchi, Ponta, Poncha, whatever the hell the dog's name is. He wants the heart, right? So that's kind of his main goal at this point. We find out that he's the Eternity Panchita. We find out that he's the Eternity Devil, and that's kind of his gimmick. That's his thing. We'll find out more next episode. The rest of the episode is focused around DENJI taking a nap, him going to sleep. He's like, yo, I would never not sleep in a comfy bed that's given to me. He takes a nap, no problem. We find out more about the rest of the group. So we find out a little bit more about Kobeni. She's a devil hunter, not by choice. You know, she's there to send her younger brother to uni. No problem there. She begins to freak out. She's the first one to go. Then we see the other person, Arai. Arai got depressed. He becomes a very sad boy. You have to imagine only maybe like 24 to 48 hours have passed at this point. Maybe 36 hours at the most. DENJI couldn't have been sleeping more than 24 hours, so maybe about a day to 3 days have passed. It didn't give us an actual time frame. We don't know because time has stopped. We're going to say no more than 3 days has passed. But Arai, he goes depressed boy. They go back and forth of killing DENJI, not killing DENJI, blah, 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 blah. We see the Aki and what's her name? Himeno, Eye Patch Girl. We see Himeno and Aki's backstory about kind of when they were filling each other out, the first time he smoked, blah, 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 blah. We see all of that stuff. We find out they've been together for a while. Then we found out that his eye was trembling, but this time it's not his eye, it was his sword. We find out that Aki has some kind of power in his sword. If he releases said power, then that power will take from his life force, but it's so powerful that they could break out of this jail that they're in. Kobeni tries to attack Denji. Cool. She F's up. She hits Aki instead because Aki needs Denji. And then he jumps off into the pit of the stomach, which we find out that this devil is like the hotel at this point, and the 8th floor is like his stomach. That's basically kind of what I got from it at this point. So we're going to see Chainsaw Man rip up next episode. That should be pretty cool. Denji has, motivation because he has the French kiss from Himeno. Himeno actually was starting to freak out at the end there for whatever reason. I think because she finally started to realize that when Aki got stabbed, she could potentially lose him, and that's like her only like partner, like life partner kind of thing at this point. So she kind of relies on him to kind of keep her sanity. So very interesting stuff. But overall, good episode. Again, transitional episode, informational episode, nothing spectacular, nothing to write home about, but in the grander scheme of things, in the grander thing, if you were to binge watch it, you wouldn't even think about this episode, you just think about the story in holistically, and I think this serves a good purpose. Just watching it and having to wait a week, not the greatest, but we know what it is, and that's okay. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. If there's anything I missed, put it down in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you guys being here for another week. Let me know what you guys think about the Eternity Devil, and why do you think he wants Denji so bad? If you know, you know, but don't say it. But, for those who don't know, put some predictions in the comments. All right, my friends. See you guys next week, y'all. Peace.